Hey Trail Tribe, Jeff Browning here with your tip of the week. This week I want to talk about, I have an athlete that's fighting a little plantar fasciitis this week, so this is a great tip I got from a PT in Bend, Oregon, that's a running specific PT, and that is to work on hips. You can do this during a run, before a run, after a run. So it's basically just it's opening up hip flexors, hips. And so what you're going to do is just a very standard lunge stretch. So keeping that heel on the ground, but slightly point your toes inward on both feet. And then you're going to cross your arms and you're just going to go 3 planes of motion. So you're going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. You can do more, but if you're doing a quick one, like while you're running, if you want to stop, and you do 5 side to side. And so you really want to take the time to stretch, I'm pretty tight right here, and then twist. So 3 planes of motion. So you're going to go backwards and forwards, side to side, and then twisting 5 times, and then do it on the other side. And then also do it with your foot raised. So you can use a chair by putting your foot up on a chair like this, and remember, keep those toes pointed in, and you can do it this way. So you go back, the different planes of motion. And I recommend 5 times each way. You can go up to 10, and then if you're fighting a little plantar fasciitis, you're going to want to do that like multiple times a day, probably 3 times a day. And then also work on calf mobility, meaning one of my previous tips, the calf mash, where you use a broomstick where you're laying down on your calves. That's another one you can bring back in. So go look that one back up if you're fighting a little tight fascia in the bottom of your foot. The other thing would be to roll your foot too. So go use that in your training. Giddy up.